Imagine a quiet street. The buildings are plain. The sky is a soft, uniform gray. People walk with their heads down, lost in their own thoughts, moving from one task to the next. It is a scene we all know well, a world that can sometimes feel drained of its vibrancy. But then, something happens. A bright splash of yellow appears on a canvas. A line of bold electric blue dances across a page. A figure begins to move, not walking, but swaying to a rhythm only they can hear. This is the world of Rain Bordeaux, a place where color and movement burst through the ordinary, reminding us of the joy that is always waiting to be discovered. It's a world built not on grand plans or complicated theories, but on simple, powerful acts of creation. This is not a story about becoming a famous artist. It is not about mastering a difficult technique or selling paintings for millions of dollars. Instead, this is a story about the simple, profound happiness that comes from making something. Anything. It is about the feeling of a paintbrush in your hand, the satisfaction of finding the right word, or the freedom of letting your body move to music. We will explore the idea that creativity is not a special talent reserved for a chosen few. It is a fundamental human impulse, a way of playing, a way of connecting with ourselves and with the world around us. In the next 30 minutes, we will step into this vibrant world. We will meet the person at its center, an artist who believes that the act of creating is one of the most joyful experiences life has to offer. We will watch him paint, write, and dance, not for an audience, but for the sheer pleasure of doing it. This journey is an invitation. It is an invitation to look at your own world and see the potential for color, for poetry, for movement. It is a gentle nudge to pick up a tool, any tool, and simply begin. Forget about the result. Forget about being perfect. Just focus on the joy of the process itself. Our guide on this journey is a man named Mateo Balaban, who also goes by the name Rain Bordeaux. Through his story, we will discover how a simple philosophy of joy and play can transform a life and inspire others. So, who is the person guiding us on this colorful exploration? His name is Mateo Balaban. He is an artist from a small town, a place where creativity might not always seem practical. You can read about his journey on the local news site, viravidica.net, where he shares his belief that making art is for everyone. He speaks directly to those who think being creative has no point, arguing that it is one of the most meaningful things a person can do. He is not an artist who hides away in an ivory tower. He is grounded, accessible, and passionate about sharing his message. But he also has another name, Rain Bordeaux. This name is not just a pseudonym, it is a persona, a symbol of his artistic identity. You can see this side of him on his website, rainbordeaux.com. The name itself sounds poetic and evocative, like something from a story. It suggests a connection to nature, to emotion, and to a world of imagination. When he is Rain Bordeaux, he is the embodiment of his creative philosophy. He is the painter. He is the writer. He is the dancer. This dual identity allows him to be both the relatable person from down the street and the larger-than-life artist who inspires us to see the world differently. Mateo Balaban is the man who lives his daily life. Rain Bordeaux is the channel through which that life is transformed into art. We all have our everyday selves, but inside, we also have a creative self, a part of us that dreams, imagines, and yearns to play. Mateo, as Rain Bordeaux, simply gives that inner self a name and a license to come out and create. His story encourages us to get to know our own inner artist. It doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is that you acknowledge its existence and give it the freedom to express itself. At the heart of Rain Bordeaux's world is a very simple, yet powerful, philosophy. Creation is a form of play. Think back to when you were a child. You didn't need a reason to draw a picture, build a tower of blocks, or make up a silly song. You did it because it was fun. The process itself was the reward. There was no pressure to be good at it. There was no fear of judgment. It was just pure, unadulterated joy in action. He believes we've been taught to forget this playful impulse, to believe everything we do must have a serious purpose or a productive outcome. His work is a rebellion against that idea. When you look at his paintings, you don't see painstakingly rendered landscapes or perfect portraits. You see energy. You see bold, spontaneous marks. You see colors clashing and dancing together. It feels like the artist had a wonderful time making them. He reminds us that the word amateur comes from the Latin word for lover. An amateur is someone who does something simply for the love of it. In Rain Bordeaux's world, that is the highest praise. This philosophy of play is incredibly liberating. It removes the fear of failure that so often paralyzes our creativity. If the goal is simply to enjoy the process, then there is no way to fail. Every mark you make, every word you write, is a success. This mindset shifts the focus away from the finished product and onto the present moment. It is a form of mindfulness. Mateo demonstrates this by making art everywhere, with whatever is at hand. He shows us that you don't need a fancy studio or expensive materials to be creative. You just need a willingness to play. So, this video is more than just a portrait of an artist. It is an invitation. It is a warm, friendly hand reaching out and saying, "Come and play." We are here to celebrate the simple human act of making things. We want you to feel inspired, not intimidated. We want to spark that little voice inside you that says, "Hey, that looks like fun. Maybe I could try that." Throughout our exploration, we will focus on joy in action. We will see many people painting together, writing in cafes, dancing in parks. These images will create a montage of human creativity. This is for everyone. The joy of creation is not a solitary pursuit. It can be shared. When Mateo Balaban shares his process, he is not just showing off his skills. He is sharing his joy. Joy is contagious. Seeing someone absorbed and happy makes us want that feeling too. We will see this ripple effect in action. We will meet people inspired by Rain Bordeaux to start their own creative journeys. We will hear their stories, see their first tentative drawings, read their first lines of poetry. Ultimately, our half hour together is a gentle call to action. Pick up a brush, pick up a pen, turn on some music, and move. Give yourself permission to create without a purpose. Make something just for the sake of making it. Close this video, look around your home. See it as a studio full of potential. The joy of creation is waiting for you. Answer the call and begin. Every artist's journey begins somewhere, often in a place you might not expect. For Mateo Balaban, the journey did not start in a grand art academy. It started with a feeling, a quiet but persistent nudge from within. It was fueled by small moments of observation. These were the moments that made him feel truly present and awake. He began to experiment in private. It was a personal exploration, a dialogue with himself. These early acts were not about making art. They were about answering a call. As the creative impulse grew stronger, it needed a space to flourish. It likely began as a corner of a room, a small desk cleared of clutter. It was an agreement he made with himself. This is where the art happens. It was a place to leave the concerns of the everyday world at the door. Over time, that space evolved. It is a working room, a laboratory of joy. There are likely paint splatters on the floor and walls, a testament to countless hours of expressive freedom. The studio is more than just a workshop. It is a sanctuary, a place of refuge where the artist can be completely, unapologetically himself. When Rain Bordeaux stands before a canvas, it is not just his hand that moves, it is his entire body. The act of painting for him is a form of dance. The studio is filled with sound and motion, the wet slap of a loaded brush, the energetic scrape of a palette knife, the percussive splatter of droplets. He might work on several pieces at once, moving between them. Ideas bleed over, cross-pollinating between works. Painting, writing, dancing are not separate. They form a holy trinity, a dynamic, interconnected system where each practice supports the others. His work is alive because it's not perfect. It carries his humanity, his struggle, and his joy. While the artist's journey often begins in solitude, its ultimate destination is connection. There comes a point where the energy created within those four walls becomes too powerful to be contained. Imagine the scene. People from the neighborhood, curious and perhaps a little hesitant, step across the threshold. Inside, they find not a silent, intimidating gallery, but a space humming with life and color.
He doesn't lecture them about art history or theory. Instead, he might simply hand them a brush and say, "Want to add some color?"
At first, people might be shy, but then they see someone else splash a bold stroke of red. The initial fear quickly dissolves, replaced by a spirit of play and shared adventure. This is the concept of the shared canvas, a physical space where individual creativity merges into a collective expression, a visual symphony played by many hands. The final piece is a rich tapestry woven from dozens of different perspectives. It is a visual record of a community coming together, a snapshot of shared joy.
Rain Bordeaux's collaborative spirit extends beyond the visual arts. He creates spaces for people to share their words, a gathering of voices.
The impact of Rain Bordeaux's collaborative sessions extends far beyond the walls of his studio. He is not just creating art, he is creating other creators. Ultimately, what Rain Bordeaux is building is a tribe of amateurs, people who do what they do for the pure love of it. A community that is more creative, more connected, and more joyful. As our journey comes to a close, it is time to turn the focus away from Rain Bordeaux and onto you. His story was never meant to be just a portrait. It was meant to be a mirror. You might be thinking, but I'm not an artist. Rain Bordeaux would argue, if you've ever hummed while doing the dishes, doodled during a meeting, you've done something creative. The impulse is already there. The artist we have been exploring is also the artist that lives inside of you. Find the part of you that wants to make something for fun. That is your inner Rain Bordeaux. Consider this the formal invitation you may have been waiting for your whole life. This is your personal call to action. The first step is small, simple, manageable. Just plan to put one color on one piece of paper. Just decide to write one sentence. Just let your body respond to the music. The next part of the invitation is to share it. Let your small act be a ripple that might inspire someone else. Use the hashtag #JoyOfCreation. The joy of creation is not a distant destination. It is right here, waiting for you in the smallest of actions. Begin now.